Good day, level casters. Today, we embark on a profound journey through history, delving into an event that irrevocably reshaped the 20th century. World War I, often termed the Great War. This cataclysmic conflict, spanning from 1914 to 1918, was a crucible of geopolitical tensions, technological innovation, and unimaginable human cost. It was a war of unprecedented scale, drawing in the major global powers, tearing apart empires, and leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of humanity. Understanding its origins, its brutal progression, and its far-reaching consequences is not merely an academic exercise. It is crucial for comprehending the world we inhabit today. We will explore the intricate web of alliances, the burgeoning imperial rivalries, and the spark that ignited this global conflagration, dissecting how regional dispute in the Balkans escalated into a worldwide catastrophe. Prepare yourselves for a narrative that weaves together political intrigue, military strategy, and the poignant human experience of a conflict that truly changed everything, forever altering the course of nations and the lives of millions. The roots of World War I were deeply embedded in a complex tapestry of European power politics, an intricate dance of alliances and rivalries that had been decades in the making. On one side stood the Triple Entente: France, Britain, and Russia, bound by mutual defense agreements and a shared apprehension of German expansionism. Opposing them was the Triple Alliance, comprising Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy, though Italy would later switch allegiances. This system of interlocking treaties meant that a localized conflict could rapidly escalate, pulling in nations far beyond its initial scope. Furthermore, a fierce scramble for colonies and resources fueled imperialistic ambitions, particularly between Britain and Germany, creating an atmosphere of intense economic and naval competition. The arms race, especially the naval build-up between Britain and Germany, exacerbated these tensions, transforming Europe into a powder keg. Each nation believed that a strong military was the ultimate guarantor of peace, paradoxically making war more likely. Nationalistic fervor, particularly in the Balkan region, further stirred the pot. Pan-Slavic movements, supported by Russia, clashed with Austria-Hungary's desire to maintain its multi-ethnic empire, creating a volatile flashpoint. This intricate interplay of alliances, imperialism, militarism, and nationalism set the stage for the inevitable eruption. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, by a Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip, provided the tragic spark that ignited this powder keg. What followed was a rapid-fire sequence of diplomatic failures and military mobilizations, often referred to as the July Crisis. Austria-Hungary, with the unwavering, blank check, support from Germany, issued a harsh ultimatum to Serbia, which was largely rejected. Russia, feeling a duty to protect its Slavic brethren, began to mobilize its forces, prompting Germany to declare war on Russia and then on France, citing the Schlieffen Plan, a preemptive strike designed to defeat France quickly before turning attention to Russia. Britain, bound by treaty to defend Belgium's neutrality, declared war on Germany after German troops invaded Belgium en route to France. The initial belief that the war would be a swift, decisive affair, with soldiers home by Christmas, quickly evaporated. Instead, the Western Front devolved into a brutal stalemate of trench warfare, characterized by unimaginable horrors, machine guns, artillery bombardments, poison gas, and endless attrition. On the Eastern Front, a more fluid but equally devastating conflict unfolded, marked by vast troop movements and immense casualties. The world watched in horror as the conflict spiraled out of control, consuming lives and resources on an unprecedented scale. After 4 years of unimaginable bloodshed and devastation, marked by pivotal battles like Verdun, the Somme, and Passchendaele, the tide finally began to turn. The entry of the United States into the war in 1917, fueled by Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare and the Zimmermann telegram, provided a much-needed boost to the exhausted Allied forces. The Russian Revolution in 1917, which led to Russia's withdrawal from the war, initially seemed to favor the Central Powers, allowing Germany to shift troops to the Western Front. However, the German spring offensive of 1918 ultimately failed to break the Allied lines. With their economies shattered, their populations demoralized, and their armies facing overwhelming odds, the Central Powers began to collapse. Bulgaria, the Ottoman Empire, and Austria-Hungary all sought armistices. Finally, facing internal unrest and the imminent collapse of its military, Germany signed an armistice on November 11, 1918, bringing the fighting to an end. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially concluded the war, imposing harsh reparations and territorial losses on Germany, a decision that would sow the seeds for future conflicts. World War I resulted in an estimated 15 to 22 million deaths, both military and civilian, and fundamentally altered the geopolitical landscape, leading to the collapse of empires, the redrawing of national borders, and the rise of new ideologies. Its legacy continues to resonate, shaping international relations and collective memory to this very day.
That was an incredibly detailed overview of World War I.
It truly was a monumental event, wasn't it?
The scale of the alliances before the war is fascinating.
Yes, the Triple Entente and Triple Alliance were key.
And the assassination of Franz Ferdinand was the immediate trigger.
A single event ignited such a vast conflict.
The July crisis sounds like a cascade of errors.
Diplomatic failures certainly played a huge role.
Trench warfare on the Western Front must have been horrific.
Absolutely, the conditions were unimaginable.
The introduction of new weapons made it even worse.
Machine guns and poison gas changed warfare forever.
The U.S. entry in 1917 seems to have been a turning point.
It provided a vital boost to the Allied forces.
And the Russian Revolution also had a massive impact.
Russia's withdrawal altered the Eastern Front.
The sheer number of casualties is truly staggering.
Millions of lives were tragically lost.
The Treaty of Versailles had long-lasting consequences.
It reshaped Europe significantly, setting the stage for future events.
It's important to understand this history.
I agree. It helps us comprehend our present world.
That was a great lesson, full of insight.
I agree. Keep learning, Levelcasters.
Until next time, Levelcasters, keep exploring, keep learning.